Today we're going to jump right into the project. I'm going to use mainly the supplies you see here, and we're going to make these little page huggers. I had got the inspiration and have made some for a regular journal from Natasha over at Treasure Books. But I got to thinking after I made that little bitty journal, why don't I make some little bitty page huggers? So I grabbed a roll. I had a roll of vintage register receipt tape. And I thought, why not? Why not just make some little page huggers from that receipt roll? So that's what we're going to do. And it's super fun and it's super quick. Yep, there's my receipt tape right there. And that is what I'm going to use. So here's the little journal. And I just want to make like maybe a smaller page hugger for that little piece. And just pieces here and there, a couple of pages. I don't need very many page huggers because there's not really that many undecorated pages in that little book. I did dig out some of my Tim Holtz mini paper dolls. And I've got some sitting down and some of them are standing up. And I just pulled enough out that I would have, a variety of choice there. And I did end up digging out a few pieces out of my little scrap bowl of ephemera. But I wanted to mainly just use what I had right here. And there's some old laces and some cheesecloth. And then I had just a few pieces here of just cut-offs and old book page. And anyway, now I am going to cut. Now these are the small collage strips here. And I'm just going to try to cut some of them off and use some of the pieces for a little bit of the collaging there. All right, so those little pieces are cut apart. And here is the receipt tape. And what I'm going to do is just kind of see how long I want it to be. And then I'll end up folding it to make two sides. Now, I'm not worried about being too precise or cutting too straight because I'm going to end up cutting a little bit off that bottom anyway. Now, I'm just going to take and try to measure me a few out the same length. That way, I know my pages are only going to be so long and I don't want it to go past there. And then I'm going to make me a little one, just a little bit shorter for that little book page or whatever it was there, that piece of stained paper that was so small. I want one to go on there as well, so I need to just cut this one down a little smaller. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just laying this kind of flat. And I'm just going to take about 1/8 of an inch or a little bit more. And you don't want too much, especially using something so narrow as this little receipt tape. So I'm just trying to get it as even as I can, as even as possible. And I'm just putting glue on one side and then I'm just going to overlay that side on top of the other. And you'll have to be real careful because you don't want any glue to tack that down on the inside. So real quickly, I'm going to go in with my fingers there and try to make sure my glue is not going to be closing any of that shut. Okay, I'm just trying to, and I want that little corner kind of popped out there on the very top. I don't want it to be pressed in. So then I'm actually taking just a little bit of glue, and on one side of that flap where those two little flaps are glued together, I glued it to the back side. That way my page isn't getting caught on that when I slip it over the top. So I'm just going to kind of I just want to get a feel of this here, and I think that's going to work just great. That's kind of what I wanted, and I need to trim down the bottom some. So I'm just going to work on my other few there and get them ready. I want to get them, folded over and glued and get them ready to decorate. Now I'm going to do one more here and just show you. So I'm folding over just that little ledge there, just enough that I can glue it and make it where it's not got a raw edge. Now I'm just folding it over and kind of creasing it at the top. Now I did figure out that I could take a little bit of glue and go on the inside of the flap up to the fold and then stick it down just the half to the crease there. And then I could go and take my little stream of glue then and tack down the top of the flap. And then I didn't have to try to go on the inside and catch, the paper in there. So that worked out a lot better. Now I'm just going through and trying to unstick the little corners and things because that glue, because it's so close, such a thin line there that I can go that anyway, I ended up grabbing my bone folder there and just pushing it out. And so I just get them all prepared that way. And then we're going to jump in and start decorating these things up. All right, last one. And then we're going to get the space cleaned up a little bit here and move stuff out of the way and start decorating these little page huggers. So we just made a little pocket for this back side of this little page hugger. And isn't that cute? I just think these turned out so well. Now we're going to kind of get the book slid over here and get everything out of our way. And there's just such a small space to work in on my table. But it works. So now there's that little piece I wanted to put the little short one on. Doesn't that just add, to the page? I just absolutely love that. I got a little glue stuck there. I need to get detached. But yeah, isn't that cute? I think it just gives it that little extra oomph that it needs. Plus, you still get to keep your journaling space. That's what's so great about those page huggers. I really appreciate Natasha at Treasure Book sharing her talents, because this was the best thing ever. I just absolutely love this project. Now we're going to slide a little bit longer one here on our page here. And looky there. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. And then there's the back. Let's see where we want to put the other one here. Now I am going to have to tack that down. I'm going to grab a paper clip and get that tacked down. I think every time I've opened that book, it just is always falling out. So we're just going to fix that right now. We'll grab that little rusty paper clip and get that tacked down. And we won't have that problem anymore. That thing is solved. So we need to get us another page right here, I think. Yeah. That looks so sweet. Absolutely love it. Okay, now I need to figure out where I'm going to put this other long one at. I'm not really certain where I'm going to put it. Probably has to be right here somewhere. I'm going to have to rearrange a little bit. Yeah, let's move this and put that little page hugger right there, and we can put those somewhere else. Yeah, that looks like that's right where that belonged. So, yeah, and I think we'll just put these probably right there, yeah, where I've got my hand. And I'm going to end up inking those up. I didn't do it when I made the journal, and it really looks like it just needs it now that I'm, kind of looking at it a little better. So I'm going to ink this up. I'm going to ink the other little piece that I had with it. I'm going to ink it up as well. And that finishes out the book. Now this was so fun. I hope you all enjoyed it. And as always, I invite you to go to my other social media. All the links are in the description box. And it's been fun. And thanks so much for tagging with me today. And I'll catch you all in the next video.